Hello, ladies. Welcome back to Block of the Month 2023-24, and we're in Rosebud, Texas, at the Fabric Barn. You can also find us at My Fabric Barn online. So we're going to do lesson 3 today, and it's a little bit harder than last month, and it's not just plain squares sewn together in a 9 patch. We're going to take and we're going to do 2 different size squares sewn together. So I'm going to take a little break here and we'll pan down so you'll be looking at the table instead of me. And if we'll take a break for right now. I'll see you in a minute. So here we are back again. First off, you're going to have to gather a few things. You'll need some sort of a ruler for marking a straight line. If that's the way you decide to do the corner pieces. Friction pen. I have a few different colors because I have a lot of different colors in my collection. And you may decide to do the marking. You'll need your iron, of course, and if you like using a presser, you can always use a presser thing also to fold them. So I will go over the different methods of marking and folding that we'll be using. Then you're going to have to go to your bags, and I want you to pull out a light 2-inch squares, medium dark 2-inch squares, medium light 2-inch squares, light 3.5-inch squares, medium light 3.5-inch squares, and medium dark 3.5-inch squares. Those are all the pieces that you will be needing to pull from those bags. Plus, I want you to mark 3 more bags, one that says block A, one that says block B, and one that says block C. These bags will be what you will be putting your finished small blocks in, and we will be pulling from these next year to make our larger blocks. So remember, block A, block B, and block C. You will see those on your pattern. So I also, on some of them, I marked 8 for block A, 4 for block B, and 16 block C's. So that's what you'll be making. So from your light 3.5-inch squares, you're going to be pulling 4 lights. That's all you need is 4 lights. And that is for all the squares. There will only be 1 square that we'll be using the light. On your medium light, you're going to need 8 3.5-inch squares. And then you will need 10 dark, medium dark 3.5-inch squares. So those are your squares. So we're done with these bags. Be sure you zip them back up. You don't want anything falling out of them, and put them back in your collection. Then you're going to need 16 light 2.5-inch squares. Clip those so I don't lose any of them. You're going to need medium light. You're going to need 32 of those. I have 32 medium lights. And you're going to need all 16 of your medium darks. So that bag's going to be empty. So you can either keep it to do the quilt again, the way it is, or you can take this label off and use this bag to mark for another project or for another bag later on. So this is everything. This is all we're going to need. So we're going to do actually 3 blocks. Block A is the first one, and you're going to take 1 medium light, which is this one, and you are going to need 2 medium dark squares, going to do different ones because we like to do scrappy. Tiffany, come quick.
Oh no, I think something's happened to our audio.
We'll have to voice over.
Here we go. Are you guys ready?
So ladies, I'm going to show you 3 ways to add the corners to your block. We're going to be laying them at alternate corners. The first way is by drawing a line from corner to corner with your friction pen. Then lay it on the corner with the line going crossways from there to there. And you'll be sewing towards the outside corner. 1 thread towards the outside corner. So when you fold it open, it will lay square to the corner. And we'll be sewing it in a few minutes. That's one way. Another way is by taking the square, lay it face down, right side down, then fold it in half, corner to corner, and press it with your fingers. That will give you a line that you can see. Lay it on your corner, and again stitch 1 thread towards the outside edge to allow for the fabric that your thread takes up. And then you'll fold it over. So we'll do that in a few minutes. That's block A. Now we're going to move to block B. So block B, you'll take 1 light 3.5 inch square, and 4 medium light, and make them different so they're all scrappy. I have 2 colors really in my medium lights, so I'm going to take 2 of the light blue, medium light blues, and 2 of the medium browns, medium light browns. But try to pick different ones so they're all scrappy. So you'll be sewing 1 2.5 inch square to each corner. Again, I like folding them and pressing them. It's quicker than drawing the line. So lay it on 1 of the corners. Then this one I'll show you again how to draw corner to corner. Just lay it. And just a little bit to the left hand of the corners so that you allow for your stitching. And you're going to put 1 on each corner, just like that. I will sew it in a few minutes. Now we're going to go to block C. You'll be making 8 block A's, 4 block B's, and 16 block C's. So you take your medium light 3.5 inch square. Then you're going to take 1 of your medium light squares. And 1 of your light squares. And you're going to lay these on opposite corners. Okay? And we'll be sewing that one. I'll show you the other way of laying them so you don't have to draw a line or fold. And so now we're going to take a break and go sew. So hello ladies, I'm back.
We're ready to sew. We're going to start with block A. We've got one medium dark on each of your corners. So we're going to start with the one that I drew the line on, and we're going to stitch from one corner to the other. I also have a blue tape on my sewing machine that comes from the needle straight out, and that you can line up the first corner lines up right next to your needle. I have a sew on, sew off, what I call sew on, sew off under my needle all the time. And then I'll start sewing, and I can line the bottom edge up with my blue line, just a hair to the left of it, and stitch right straight down. So we're going to stitch to there. Your sew on, sew offs help you like a tip from being grabbed and sucked down into your machine, which is no fun to tear out. So I always use sew on, sew offs. And it catches all those little threads, so I don't have as big of a mess in my sewing room from trimming threads off. So that's one corner. We're going to fold it open and match those corners, the outside corners. So we are back with a 3.5 inch square. They should match up. And then we're going to trim it to around 1/4 inch. And that corner is done. Now we're going to go ahead and we'll take the other one. And this is the one that we lay down with the right side of the fabric down and fold it corner to corner and press it with our fingers. Lay it on the corner. And start stitching just one thread towards the outside point. And here again, if you start at the needle and that one little tip is just on that line of your blue tape, you don't watch the needle, you just watch that tip on the tape, and it will stay straight. And there we have the second corner on. Fold it out. Make sure the corners match. If they don't match, I would suggest ripping it out and doing it again before you have to sew the whole quilt together. If you do this part right, you're not going to have a problem later on. Those little tiny triangles, unless you like tiny things, go ahead and I just throw them away. There's your block A's. You'll make 8 of these. Get your block A bag, put them in it. Remember organization. So you're going to have that in block A. Zip it up. Make sure you always zip them so you don't have loose things laying around later on. So now we're going to go to block B. Block B has one on every corner. Since I only have the 2 colors, I'm just going to put them on alternating like that. But any way you put them on will be fine. So we'll just start with the first one. This one I'm going to fold. Again, corner to corner, right side down to start with, so that your fold has the wrong sides folded together. Then you'll lay them on your corner. Make that stitch, one stitch towards the outside corner. This is your light square and your medium light 2-inch squares. So Fold it open, check it. Now you could do one on each corner, opposite corners, and then turn it and do it on the other opposite corners. I just, especially if I'm chaining, I just chain the one corner on all 4 squares in this case. Then I go back and start adding the next square round on each one. If I'm chaining, if you're just doing one at a time, you do it this way. And that's your option, is to the order in which you sew your corners on. Always be careful to make sure that you have your the right side of the fabric to right side of the fabric. You hate to have to go back and cut them off. I have had to do it. Some of my lights are so close to the same color on both sides. So here, I'm just going to stitch it right straight on. I would be ironing these probably in between with my iron, but since I'm just doing the video, I'm just sewing them on without the ironing between corners. I like to do the pressing. Again, watch that little tip. As long as you're watching the tip, you don't have to watch the needle, other than keep your fingers out from underneath it. Okay, got one more corner. Okay. Stitch on your sew off. Cut your threads. Cut that one off. Check your corner. Trim your back 2 pieces off to 1/4 inch. And there you have your block B. You'll be making 4 of these. Next thing you do is you find your block B plastic bag, put them in it, zip it up, and you're through with your block Bs. Now we're going to go to block C. You'll be making 16 of these. First off, we're going to put our medium, our medium lights on a 2.5 inch square on the corner. Now, if I was chaining, I'd just do all of these corners at one, all your medium lights at one time. Fold it to the corner, trim it, and that's your medium light. Now you're going to add your light to the opposite corner. Just follow that blue line. I love painter's tape. I hope they never find out that we're using it for quilting. The price will go up. Okay, so there we have the other corner, our light corner. You'll be ironing that one open. And that is your block C, and you'll be making 16 of these. Now, you need to make sure that you either mark your light corner or your medium light, just as long as you know which corner is which. I actually put a light, an L on my light corner with a friction pen, so I knew which one it was on all 16 of them. I don't want to not know, because that's part of the layout of the quilt, and you'll see it when we put it together next year. So there is, put it in your bag C, and you're through with all 16 of your blocks. We'll see you later. Bye, ladies. Okay. Whew. I don't know. I think it rang right at a perfect time. I don't think it's going to matter because I wasn't talking right there.